Nevada, the great silver state and the gold. New tales of Nevada, the stories, people working hard to make a home. Old tales of Nevada.
Hello everybody, welcome to Old Tales of Nevada, past and present. Glad to have you with us this week. We got a great story about the good old days here in Nevada, and we're going to be talking two of the icons from entertainment and news in the area here. So look forward to a great story for our 300th show right after this.
Hi there, Roy Marshall here to welcome you to our new world-famous Marshall Mint at the Reno Town Mall. You'll find gold and silver bars, the V&T Railroad, Wild Mustangs, and Angels of the Day medallions, one-of-a-kind estate jewelry, Morgan dollars, fashion gold and quartz jewelry, and see the free museum with precious stones and crystals from all over the world. The Marshall Mint, now open in Reno at the Reno Town Mall.
Spring arrives at Boutique Elegante. The fabulous colors of spring, all in denim fabrics, but with accents on color, color, color. Of course, sweaters are a must. The newest color block in soft weaves. Influenced by the rainbow, beautiful little dresses, gaucho sets, the blending of fabrics to create caprice sets. Exquisite fashions for your tropical holiday, a special dinner, or the opera. You'll find all of this and so much more at Boutique Elegante.
Welcome everybody to Old Tales of Nevada, past and present. I'm John O'Brien, the host of the show, and as usual with me, the executive producer, Roy Marshall. We're shooting right in his museum room on the first level of the mansion here and on Lakeside Drive. And
That's right.
Glad to be with you again, Roy.
Yeah.
Our 300th show.
Every day you got to be happy to be alive.
That's right, and it's great to be alive for our 300th show. That means we started way back in 2011, I believe it was, on radio, and then we went to TV ever since, so 300 shows on TV, and we're just so happy to be able to do this
10
show.
years? Is that what it's been?
10, about 8, 9 years, something like that.
Years.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track when you get this old, you know. But hey, we have some special guests with us from the good old days of Reno, Nevada, and Northern Nevada. Harry Spencer, who was with the Mapes Hotel for a long time, and our good friend Bob Carroll, who was really our first guest.
Many years ago.
TV run many years ago, and we were doing it over at this little Spanish station over there on the set, and Bob was our first guest and did a great job the first time around, so we'll see how he does here.
Were you guys, I was thinking about the check. It hasn't come yet. I mean, this is quite
It's in the mail, my friend.
Did you actually send it at one time? Because I was supposed to get $25 for being
it
on
kind
the
of
show.
bounced around a little bit.
I haven't received
and
it
came
yet.
back.
I need it for my income taxes if you guys can get it to me.
We're so happy to have both of you with us because I know you have some great stories about the past that many people in Reno don't know about, never heard about, but so much fun that happened back in those early days when Reno was on the rise from a little town to the biggest little city. So we look forward to those stories. We always go to Roy first because he tells us why we've been doing this show for 300 times at least.
Yeah.
So Roy, it's all yours.
Sure. Well, a lot of people don't realize what a very important historic state that we have. And if it weren't for the state, none of us may be Americans. We might have been French, English, or different because the country owed more than what it was worth at the end of the Civil War. And it was the charity of the Comstock miners who brought about the money that Abraham Lincoln needed in order to pay off that debt to France, Germany, and England.
Yes, for sure.
Otherwise, we would have had a bit of a problem, which we have a bit of a problem now too, but yeah, in fact, all the countries seem to have a bit of a problem. But we do this show to bring back not only the old times of Nevada, but what is happening in the present, because we have so many new up-and-coming young innovators of one kind or another.
For sure.
that are going to make our state in the future.
Yeah, the future looks very
These
bright.
guys and us, we were making it in the past.
Yeah, our two guests laid the foundation for a lot
There
of
you
good
go.
things here in
That's
Reno
right.
that we're still celebrating today.
Very true.
You know, whether it be the media or special events or the entertainment industry that we have in town. So we want to get into that as quickly as possible. We want to also mention, though, that you have two great enterprises here in the area up on the Comstock, right?
Yeah.
You have the hotel.
Silverland Hotel Inn and Suites.
Yeah, and that reservation number is?
Yeah, 847-4484.
Right, and
Get
it's
your
going to
honey
be.
and go up there and have a little party.
That's right. It's a great place to take a
Sure.
romantic night out, right?
Yeah.
So you got that, and then just up the street or down here in Reno, you
Yeah,
have
and Marshall Mint.
Marshall Mint. Right now, it's at the Reno Town Mall, and we want to invite people down there because.
Yeah.
Especially now, you have some special coins, right, coming up for the Easter season, I guess. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Angels of the Day.
Angel of the Day and the coins of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The powers that Christ used when he was on the earth.
Okay, so all that's available at the Marshall Mint,
Yeah.
amongst many other things.
And we have the horse coins,
The horse coins.
locomotive coins.
Yep, got them all. And you mint them at the Marshall Mint.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
We're going to do
fabulous.
one for Reno here pretty quick.
Yeah, I think we should, especially
Yeah.
coming up. So many good
guys'
things.
ideas and from somebody else maybe.
They'll give you some great ideas.
And,
So Harry Spencer, Harry, when did you come to Reno? How long ago?
1945.
1945, and you came up for what reason?
Play basketball.
From where? Where did you hail from?
Florida.
Florida. Wow. Okay. And how did you get to University of Nevada, Reno? Was it a scholarship thing?
Well, I had a real good friend in Florida named Harold Hayes,
Okay.
who came home Christmas of 44. I happened to be at a party where I bumped into him. He asked me what I was doing. I said, delivering ice. I was an ice man.
There's Iceman. There's a bygone industry. Yeah.
A great job, because you go to work at 3 in the morning, work your 8 hours, deliver a ton and a half of ice every day, plus crushed, and got very good salary.
Wow.
You
I had
need
joined-
that ice.
Huh?
They needed that ice
Yeah.
for cocktails now.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
What happened was I skipped the 4th grade, so I got tossed out of high school at 17.
Oh.
No.
I joined the Air Corps.
Uh-huh.
And when I was 16, they asked me if I could be available when I turned 18 to go to flight school. I said, what do I do in between for a year? They sent me to Auburn for specialized training. Very nice university. Then after that, I worked at Patrick Air Force Base, West Palm Beach, outfitting guys, B-17s that were going over to Europe.
And you were playing basketball during that time? How'd you
What?
what was the connection between
Well,
Florida?
that's what I was going to tell you.
Okay.
My friend Hayes had come out to Nevada, play football in 44.
Okay.
He said, it's a great place. You're on a great team in high school. I'm going to get you a scholarship. I said, yeah. I got some land out here in the swamp. At any rate, 2 or 3 days later, I got a telegram. This telegram offers you full ride scholarship, Greyhound bus ticket follows. Signed by Jim Aiken, who was a football and basketball coach. So 7 days on the bus, I got here in January 45.
January 45. Wow.
I got kicked off the bus in Salt Lake because they were sending troops to the Battle of the Bulge.
Oh, and this,
So I spent 8 hours in Salt Lake. I got in Reno late, about midnight. The guy who was supposed to meet me another Florida player had gone home. I woke Aiken up. He had a gravel voice. Who the hell's calling at this hour? I said, me, Spencer, from Florida. He said, take a cab, go to Lincoln Hall, find a bed, come see me in the morning.
Yeah.
I said, I got about 80 cents in my pocket. I don't think that's going to do it. He said, charge the cab to me. I said, hold on, I'll go out and ask the cab driver. He said, yeah, I'm used to it. I got credit with Aiken. Got in the cab, he said, where are you from? Driving up the hill. I said, Florida. I'm going to play basketball. He said, yeah, another tramp athlete.
A tramp athlete, all right. So when you went to school there at UNR, just to move things forward here a little bit, you majored in journalism at it was at Don Ray's School of Journalism in those days?
No.
Higginbotham.
Higginbotham. Okay.
Higginbotham.
Yeah.
Well rated. It was in the same category as Columbia, Missouri.
Okay. So you graduated there? You graduated from
51.
university? Okay, we're going to hold you there until I get done with Bob and get his bio here for a few minutes. So, Bob, you came what year to Nevada?
Well, I came to Nevada actually in 1958.
Okay.
I grew up in Los Angeles, Southern California. And I was working at KTLA Channel 5 as a flunky, actually, a gopher. But I was learning the business. And I knew I wanted to get in. I was a kid that grew up on radio, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Jack Armstrong, the All-American boy, Superman, you know, this kind of Tom Mix. And I just love this stuff. Yeah. I could visualize these guys. And I told my folks, that's what I want to do is get in. And they said, well, you can't, that's hard. No, you better be a policeman or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was at City College, and I was also in broadcasting. And I was taking some night courses in television at USC. They had some very good instructors. And I was working at Channel 5. So I put an ad in broadcasting. Never thought to put an ad in, and for summertime worker kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the only reason I picked the magazine up was to see if my ad was in it. Okay. And my ad was in it, nobody calling. But I did get a call from Susanville, California. Nolan Hollowell, the guy that owned KSUE up there, and said, tell you what we'll do. He said, I sent him a tape. He said, it sounds pretty good. He said, summertime. He said, here's what I'll do. He said, I don't know you. You don't know me. He said, drive on up here. And he said, if it doesn't work out, I'll pay you for a week and give you gas to get back to L.A.
That's a good offer.
Drove up there in the summer of '56. Stayed for 2 years. It must have worked out. My idea was to go back, obviously, to Los Angeles. There was a news guy at KTLA who talked to me one night, and he said, this was the if you remember, the March of Time kind of voice guy. You have the big Ed Hurley voice.
Sure.
And he said, young man, now what do you want? And I said, well, Mr. Martin, is Gilbert Martin in the newsreel. I said, Mr. Martin, I said, I like to do what you're doing. I said, I'd like to be in a television news. You've got to go out in the hinterland, young man. You've got to pay your dues. You need to leave Los Angeles. So that's what I did. I went to Susanville now.
Stayed in Susanville. Well, we got to take a break. Now we got a little bio, a little history on y'all. From small beginnings, some big things happened here for both of you in Reno, Nevada, and Northern Nevada, and brings us a lot of pride to hear about it. So we're going to be back with more Old Tales of Nevada, past and present, right after this.
Everything is handpicked here at Precision Diamonds. All jewelry is handpicked here at Precision Diamonds.
Come to Precision Diamonds. I'll fix your jewelry just like new.
All of us at Shoeman's Custom Cycle are ready to get you and your Harley ready for the road. From oil and tire changes to high-performance engine upgrades and dyno tuning, we at Shoeman's have got you covered with experienced factory-certified mechanics and a full-service machine shop loaded with parts and accessories. Shoeman's Custom Cycle has been serving Northern Nevada since 1988. So ride on down to Shoeman's Custom Cycle at 275 East 4th Street in downtown Reno.
Shoeman's Custom Cycle, we're the biker's bike shop.
Hi, I'm Paula.
And I'm Dan. We're the producers of the Tanner's Marketplace Antiques and Craft Shows at the Livestock Event Center on Wells Avenue.
I'd also like to tell you about our everyday location. We're at Somewhere in Time on South Virginia Street. We're Antique Antiques, booth number 46.
You'll find paintings by Nevada artists, collectible glass, vintage jewelry, Native American jewelry and baskets, antiques and unusual to unique items.
Find it all at Antique Antiques inside Somewhere in Time at 1313 South Virginia Street.
Come see us!
Spring arrives at Boutique Elegante. The fabulous colors of spring, all in denim fabrics, but with accents on color, color, color. Of course, sweaters are a must. The newest color block in soft weaves. Influenced by the rainbow, beautiful little dresses, gaucho sets, the blending of fabrics to create caprice sets. Exquisite fashions for your tropical holiday, a special dinner, or the opera. You'll find all of this and so much more at Boutique Elegante.
Hi there, Leroy Marshall here to welcome you to our new world-famous Marshall Mint at the Reno Town Mall. You'll find gold and silver bars, the V&T Railroad, Wild Mustangs, and Angels of the Day medallions, one-of-a-kind estate jewelry, Morgan dollars, fashion gold and quartz jewelry, and see the free museum with precious stones and crystals from all over the world. The Marshall Mint, now open in Reno at the Reno Town Mall.
Welcome back to Old Tales of Nevada, past and present. We're talking with two great hosts from the good old days of Reno, Nevada, both in the media and special events, entertainment, Harry Spencer and Bob Carroll. And I know many of us out there who watch the show are familiar with both these guys because they were really prominent back in the heyday of Reno, when it truly was a mecca for special events and for entertainment and even news. We had a lot of great news stories that came through here, including some presidential visits with some really important folks like Nixon and who was the other guy that you?
Harry Truman.
Harry Truman. My goodness, Harry Truman. Yeah. That goes back a long ways, Bob.
Yes, it does. Harry Truman was the very first sound interview that we did on Reno Television News. We had to rent a camera out of San Francisco. Nobody knew how to operate it up here, a sound camera. Yeah. We found a guy, Doc Kaminsky, who Harry will remember. Yeah. He knew, he was in the Air Force, but he knew how to run the camera. Yeah. And that was our very first sound interview on Reno Television, and it was with President
Isn't
Truman.
That amazing? Yeah, yeah. Now, Harry, you get out of college, you had your journalism degree, and then you probably started a family, but you're also looking for work here in Reno, correct?
I was a clothing salesman my last 2 years in college. I go to school in the morning and sell clothes in the afternoon.
At Menards, was that the place you went to?
No, Herd and Short.
Oh, where was that located?
That was in the middle of Virginia Street block between 1st, 2nd, West Side.
Yeah, no wonder you look so dapper.
It's interesting, John, to note that Harry's got a suit on that he bought there many years ago. He's kept his figure and he got back into it today with it.
Well, you take good care of your clothes. That's all I have to say.
Well, I was working. I'd been married about a month, and a Catholic priest walked in one day who had been in a couple of my classes at the U in journalism. I said, I'm sorry we don't have clerical garb here. I don't know where you sent you. He said, I didn't come in to buy any clothes. Came in to offer you a job. I said, what's that? He said, I've been appointed editor of the Catholic Weekly statewide.
All right.
I need an assistant editor. I said, well, I have to make more money than I'm making here. So he upped it about $1.75 a week.
Well, there you go.
Pretty good. In the clothing business, Saturday was a big day of work. Going to the newspaper, I only worked 5 days. The worst part, I had to tell my wife, I'm quitting my job, take another job. She called her mother, going to move back to the ranch. Would never happen. So I worked in the Register for 7 years.
Wow. Yeah.
And during that time, a fellow named Ray Bohannon radio guy was putting out a little entertainment guide, Reno this week.
Okay.
So I wrote a column for him, sort of esoteric. One day I bumped into him at the post office, and he said, got a great job down the Bay Area. Would you like the magazine? I said, take it over? He said, yeah, take it over. I said, how much do you owe the printer? He said, no, I'm clean.
Good question to ask, though. Good question to
I
ask.
checked with Harry Frost, the printer, and he said, no, it's up to date. So I do my newspaper work during the day, go out at night, sell ads, put the paper together, or the guide together. You gotta print, take it out, distribute it, so forth. So I made more money on the guide than I did at the paper. Along the way, Ty Cobb, the newspaper sports editor, had an ingenious idea. He said, guys keep coming into the newspaper bothering me when I'm trying to do my work. So he formed the Sierra Nevada Sports Writers and Broadcasters Association.
Oh, okay.
Met once a week for lunch. Coaches all came to it. Anybody that had sports stories, so they got disseminated right away.
Super.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So when did you start your own agency?
Well, one day we were meeting in the Sky Room for lunch. I happened to be president of the group, sports writers. There was a gray-haired gentleman way at the back of the room, grabbed me on the way out, said, I'd like for you guys to sponsor the NC2A synchronized swimming meet, gonna be held in Reno. I said, we have no money, no dues, no purpose. He said, basically, would you publicize it? I said, sure.
Okay.
His name was Walter Ramage, manager of the hotel. So I did that, then I do a couple of odds and ends for Walter, and he said, the guy that usually writes up the entertainment shows is in the drunk tank. Would you like the job? I said, no, I work nights and days. He said, that's too bad. We could give you $50 a show. Your wife and you could come to dinner in the Sky Room. I said, once every 2 weeks. I said, I think I fit you in. So
why not?
I stayed at the newspaper for 7 years. Finally had to make a choice. Walter was demanding more of my time. So I went over and I said, met with Mapes and took a job inside the hotel as PR man.
Yeah, so let's hold you there, okay? And go back to Bob here, because Bob, you came out of Susanville at some point, and you came to Reno.
1958.
58. Now, your invitation came from who? What was the job offer that brought you to
Actually,
Reno?
I was down here one Sunday. I don't even remember why, and I went out to the studios. They were located on 2nd Street in the Indian Colony, the old KDOT, the bright spot. 12:30 a.m.
Got the right
which is
spot.
still, I think, on the air.
I believe it is. I think it's sports.
Different call.
Yeah.
And anyway, I talked to the morning guy, and I said, if there were an opportunity, I'd like to make a move. Long story short, about a month later, I got a call from them, came to Reno, started working for them. I worked the afternoon shift, regular disc jockey job kind of thing. And I got a call one day from Harry Spencer, and I didn't know Harry, and he said, I may have done a commercial for you, Harry. Do you remember Art Rumpel's Sound?
Oh, yeah.
On Wells Avenue.
Guy.
We had to go over and cut commercials on these huge discs, kind of thing. And so that's maybe how I knew Harry, or Harry knew me. He called me and he said, would you would you like to do a television spot? And I'd never been on television before. Everything was live, Channel 8, for one of his clients who was running for county judge. Yeah, district court judge. Anyway, long story short, we did this spot. It's kind of a crazy deal I'd never been on before. And Lee Hirschland, who managed the station, and Jerry Laird, who was the program director, saw that afternoon thing, and they called me on Monday and said, "Are you interested in coming to television?"
Isn't that amazing?
I said, "Absolutely." So there I was, and I
Isn't it
started.
amazing how opportunities pop up?
Yeah.
I should apologize for starting him in.
That's right. You got him in trouble.
That's right. And I was the first news director. I established we were hired in those days as staff announcers, okay, and you did everything.
Yeah,
you did the news, you did commercial. I mean, you literally, you did the whole thing.
Amazing.
And then Lee Hirschland said, "I'd like to kind of formalize the news department." He said, "I'd like you to be news director." I said, "Don't know anything about it, Lee." And he said, "Well, find out about it." And I did, and we established the very first news department, working news department at a television station.
That's amazing.
In northern Nevada.
Yeah. So from small beginnings for both of you, you got into marketing, you got into the media,
agency,
and you took the ball and ran with it to the point where you two are really icons in your own fields. You've done so many wonderful things, and going back to you, Harry, you started to bring in some of the big entertainment to the Mapes. I don't know what the situation was before you took that job.
Well, they started off with acts like Mae West.
Okay.
And, Mapes opened in 48.
48, yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the tallest building in Reno.
Yeah, it was the tallest
building
in the West.
In the state, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first high-rise built after the war.
Yeah, and it didn't have steel in it, and that was a problem. It was brick
They
construction.
had rebar in the concrete. That was there's a big backstory about why they blew it up.
Yeah, because of that, because of the construction method, they didn't think they could retro
No,
it.
what it was a unique place. They had columns that went all the way from basement to the top.
Yeah.
And they were reinforced, so they had concrete floors hung on those pillars.
Oh, I see.
The outside facade was brick, red brick.
Yeah.
So the bricks weren't holding up the pillars.
Yeah, so it made it difficult to save it. But you gave me your little black box here, you know. And I want to get into this, but that must have been an amazing number of years. How long were you at the Mapes altogether?
About 17, 18 years.
18 years, and the contacts you made, the friendships you made must have been amazing. And the same for Bob. Some of the people you met in the news field must have just been awe-inspiring for you, being a young person in this business. So we want to hear more about that as we go forward. But in the meantime, we've got to take another break here on Old Tales in Nevada, past and present. So stay tuned for some more great stories.
Hey everyone, Dave Asher here, introducing you to our new store, the Nevada Marketplace, in the Reno Town Mall. Anchored with the Buy Nevada First gift shop, we've added over 60 micro shops, giving locals a place to set up their dream store. We are now 20,000 square feet strong, supporting over 250 local merchants with all things made in Nevada and more. We have more locals in one place than anywhere in the state, ready to help you find that perfect gift. We're open every day with easy parking at Peckham and Virginia. Go to buynevadafirst.com, your source for all things local.
Spring arrives at Boutique Elegante. The fabulous colors of spring, all in denim fabrics, but with accents on color, color, color. Of course, sweaters are a must. The newest color block in soft weaves. Influenced by the rainbow, beautiful little dresses, gaucho sets, the blending of fabrics to create caprice sets. Exquisite fashions for your tropical holiday, a special dinner, or the opera. You'll find all of this and so much more at Boutique Elegante.
All of us at Shoeman's Custom Cycle are ready to get you and your Harley ready for the road. From oil and tire changes to high-performance engine upgrades and dyno tuning, we at Shoeman's have got you covered with experienced factory-certified mechanics and a full-service machine shop loaded with parts and accessories. Shoeman's Custom Cycle has been serving Northern Nevada since 1988. So ride on down to Shoeman's Custom Cycle at 275 East 4th Street in downtown Reno.
Shoeman's Custom Cycle with a biker's bike shop.
Somewhere in Time is the place to find what will be treasured for all time. It's a huge store filled with unusual coins, collectibles, art, antiques, and more. You might say they have everything under the sun, almost. See it to believe it at Somewhere in Time in Reno.
Deluxe Travel, locally owned and operating since 1991, is the home for travel to Mexico and Central and South America. The crew at Deluxe Travel is bilingual, trustworthy, thorough, and caring. They will do everything possible to make your dream vacation the best it can be. Now is the time to book for winter travel, so stop by the office at 100 California Avenue or call 686-7000. You can also check us out on our website at deluxetravelLTD.com.
At Deluxe Travel, we sell dreams. Come in and plan yours.
We're back here in Old Tales in Nevada for our third segment, and just to introduce everybody again, I'm John O'Brien, the host of the show. With me, our executive producer, Roy Marshall. He's the one that pays the bill, pays the freight for the show to be on every week, and it's been a wonderful a donation by you to have this much interest in history and to be able to archive all of this. All these things that we do on our show go to the Historical Society up there at the college, as well as the Special Collections Unit at the college. So 50 years from now, when they talk about Harry Spencer, they can pull a video and they can see it. You can watch it. You'll be there. And same for you. So we got a great body of work that we've been able to save for historical purposes. But as we left our last segment, Harry Spencer's with us, and our good friend Bob Carroll. We were talking about how from small beginnings you guys actually became icons in the community, in the marketing, entertainment, media side of Reno. And I have in front of me some of the things that you were able to be involved with. For example, with you, Harry, you had so many contacts with some great stars. I'm looking at your little black box here that Harry has kept over the years, and it's alphabetical. And if you look through it, Dana Andrews, you see here Milton Berle, was at the Mapes, Max Baer Jr.
And senior.
Amazing. Just so many different stars, including Clark Gable, Marilyn Monroe. In fact, you got a pretty neat story about Marilyn Monroe that I don't think too many people in the media have, or in the public have heard about it. And you were even referred to it earlier there, Bob. You were on or in the hotel, and so was Marilyn, and you found her in sort of a compromising situation.
No, she was. Actually, Bob made that story up.
Oh, he did. Okay. You can't believe these news people anymore, you know.
We're having a reception line in the Sky Room with the mayor, Mapes family, a couple of other important people, so that the press could meet all of the stars.
Yeah.
They were, Eli Wallach was up there, Thelma Ritter, Gable, and Montgomery Clift. Marilyn wasn't there. A fellow named Doc Anderson, who was a production manager for the film, grabbed me by the arm and said, "Would you go down to Marilyn's suite and bring her up?" I said, "I don't work for you. Why don't you have one of your guys do it?" He said, "If I send one of my guys down, she'll tell them to go to hell." So I went down, knocked on the door, and said, "Who is it?" And I told her, "Mayor's waiting to meet you upstairs. I'll be right out."
Really?
Came out, in a beautiful evening gown. She said, "Where are we going?" I said, "Up 2 flights to the Sky Room." We got in the elevator. I said, "Turn left when the door opens." She turned right. I grabbed her by the arm, escorted her over to the receiving line. That was about my limit of my connection to her.
To her, yeah. But there she was, right there in the Mapes Hotel, and these great stars. I mean, they're storied. They're you know.
Yeah, the guy I
so
spent
great.
most time with was Eli Wallach, because I used to go and have breakfast, coffee shop about 7:30, 8 o'clock. He would be always sitting at the counter. So I'd go over and join him. I said, what are you going to do after the Misfits? He said, I'm going back to Hollywood. And then I'm going back to New York stage. I said, why would you give up Hollywood for the stage? He said, I was cast to do the part of Maggio in From Here to Eternity.
Oh wow!
boy.
What a
He said,
part.
Frank beat me out, and then he won the Oscar for it.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
But Eli had a great career. He
Yes,
stayed
he
in
did.
Hollywood.
Yes, he
Made
did.
some great pictures.
Well, you have a treasure trove of contacts here, and you met every one of them personally.
I interfaced with him.
Yeah. Now, you know, you think about today's entertainment in Reno. While they still have entertainment, it certainly isn't
It's
at
a
the level
lower-
of this.
It's in the lower case.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Why don't they have
we
these
were
major?
one of the main entertainment spots during the 50s. 60s was the golden era
Yeah.
for Reno.
Yeah. And then it.
Vegas wasn't much.
Yeah.
So entertainers would always stop here on the way to San Francisco.
Oh, I see.
Or vice versa when they were in.
I gotcha.
But we had an excellent booker
Yeah.
named Pierre Cosette. We called him the dehydrated Frenchman.
Dehydrated French. He got you all these people. That's wonderful. Yeah. And so you had a great run there, and while you were there, you got into special events. And I want to get into that in a little bit, but I want to go back to Bob just to parallel, because you were both there at the same time. But in the news business, as you grew as a news department there at the different stations, most of your career was at Channel 2, correct?
Channel 8 and Channel 2.
Channel 8, Channel 2. But you were able to run into some very important people and had some great interviews that probably not only went local, but probably were used around the United States,
Never
right?
thought when I was walking around Channel 5 in LA I'd have an opportunity to be interviewing Richard Nixon
Yeah.
and Harry Truman and Barry Goldwater and
Unbelievable.
a lot of different people
Yeah.
that came
Did you
through.
get into the...
And I could only do it because I was in the news business.
In the news.
you know.
Did you
Yeah.
get cross paths with Harry a lot with the stars? It would seem that would be kind of a nice feature to have on the news, would be to
I think
have
we did
Marilyn
that
Monroe
occasionally.
or Clark Gable.
Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, got a chance to interview Marilyn at the airport. That was really my only shot at Marilyn. That
Yeah.
that
I
was the
wonder, did
interview.
those guys charge very much during those days, the entertainers, like to come and do a show?
I would say
4 or 5 grand or
they did
10 grand?
15 shows,
Oh, the number
2
of shows.
weeks, and probably 3,000 or 4,000 a week.
Wow. Which is big money in
Which
those
was
days.
good money.
Yeah.
And you know, John, you made an interesting point. You said you alluded to the fact that we don't have that kind of entertainment, and we don't have it because the stars aren't there.
Yeah,
they
that's
died
true.
off. I get we don't have it.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
I don't even know who's playing anymore, but I know that my daughter told me she's going to some concert, and she's paying $350 to see some gal named Pink. Sorry, guys, I'm not into that. I don't know. $350.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
And that's what you pay here. I heard that Seinfeld is coming to Reno in the fall,
Yeah.
and I think that's like $280 or something for a seat.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, it's not the same. I'd love to see the stars. It's $280. But so anyway, some great times happened when you two were in your prime and working at the station, at the hotel, and beyond. Now, here's something that you both, no doubt, had great interest in as a station, as a newsman, as a marketing guy, was the 1960 Olympics. I remember watching this as a teenager back in Dumont, New Jersey, on my little
It was
TV.
the first one.
Was that color?
No, black and white.
Black and white, yeah.
But it was the first Olympics ever on TV.
Yeah.
winter or summer.
Yeah, and it was just a fabulous event.
Yeah.
Now, you were pretty much involved in that, weren't you, Harry? And I suppose,
Yeah, what happened?
Bob, you were right in the middle of it too as a news
Well,
crew.
interviews at Channel 8. I remember Lee Hirschland hired a lot of waiters from the Nugget that could speak different languages that were going to school at UNR to interview some of these people that would come down at night that didn't speak any English and put them on television. We did a segment for an hour every night, 6 to 7 o'clock, of some of the people that had appeared in the Olympics that day.
Were you in the organizing part
No,
of it?
what happened was that the manager I referred to, Ramage, somehow got to Pete Rozelle, who was the publicity guy for the Olympics.
Pete Rozelle, the NFL.
Who became the NFL later. And they established the International Olympic Press Club in the Sky Room.
Okay.
In a room on the southeast corner called the Indian Room. So we had 600 or 700 press cover the deal.
The whole world, yeah.
They all became members of the press club.
Wow.
Got a card and pin, of course.
Yeah.
And we had a bank of typewriters, runners for Western Union, closed circuit TV to Squaw.
Wow.
A lot of couches and a 24-hour open bar.
Whoa.
Which was the highlight.
Yeah, I imagine it got
Every
used quite
morning
frequently.
Ramage gave me the key and said, "You run the club, you're a newspaper guy." So I threw the key away and opened the door.
What an experience that must have been.
We had a bunch of couches. I'd come in the morning, guys would be sleeping on the couches.
Oh, wow.
But my favorite guy was Walter Cronkite, because he would come down every night from the Olympics, never missed a night. I'd be standing at the entrance of the showroom, just around the corner. I'd feel a tug. Can I come in, have a steak dinner? He'd come in, eat the steak. We always took good care of Walter because he publicized the hotel. That's all I cared
Oh, sure.
about.
Yeah, that's just important.
But he became a real good friend.
Super.
And we all said, I think you were there. You remember, weren't you, of the press
I don't think I was trying to think. I'm not sure I ever got that card.
Well, listen, we got
Walter, he was a frowsy guy, rumpled suit and all that.
Yeah, typical.
And we said, after the Olympics, this guy's toast. He'll never go anywhere.
Let's take a break. That's a great story. We'll be back for our last segment of Old Tales in Nevada, Past and Present, right after we hear from a couple of our great sponsors here on the show.
Hey everyone, Dave Asher here, introducing you to our new store, the Nevada Marketplace, in the Reno Town Mall. Anchored with the Buy Nevada First gift shop, we've added over 60 micro shops, giving locals a place to set up their dream store. We are now 20,000 square feet strong, supporting over 250 local merchants with all things made in Nevada and more. We have more locals in one place than anywhere in the state, ready to help you find that perfect gift. We're open every day with easy parking at Peckham and Virginia. Go to buynevadafirst.com, your source for all things local.
Boutique Elegante's Winter Super Sale is on now. Get 30 to 50% off all winter fashions, sizes up to 4X. Shop while the selection is great. That and so much more at Boutique Elegante, Lakeside Court in Reno.
Everything is handpicked here at Precision Diamonds. All jewelry is handpicked here at Precision Diamonds.
Come to Precision Diamonds. I'll fix your jewelry just like new.
Hi there, Leroy Marshall here to welcome you to our new world-famous Marshall Mint at the Reno Town Mall. You'll find gold and silver bars, the V&T Railroad, Wild Mustangs, and Angels of the Day medallions, one-of-a-kind estate jewelry, Morgan dollars, fashion gold and quartz jewelry, and see the free museum with precious stones and crystals from all over the world. the Marshall Mint, now open in Reno at the Reno Town Mall.
All of us at Shoeman's Custom Cycle are ready to get you and your Harley ready for the road. From oil and tire changes to high-performance engine upgrades and dyno tuning, we at Shoeman's have got you covered with experienced factory-certified mechanics and a full-service machine shop loaded with parts and accessories. Shoeman's Custom Cycle has been serving Northern Nevada since 1988. So ride on down to Shoeman's Custom Cycle at 275 East 4th Street in downtown Reno.
Shoeman's Custom Cycle with a biker's bike shop.
Somewhere in Time is the place to find what will be treasured for all time. It's a huge store filled with unusual coins, collectibles, art, antiques, and more. You might say they have everything under the sun, almost. See it to believe it at Somewhere in Time in Reno. Boutique Elegante's Winter Super Sale is on now. Get 30 to 50% off all winter fashions, sizes up to 4X. Shop while the selection is great. That and so much more at Boutique Elegante, Lakeside Court in Reno.
Come to Precision Diamonds. I'll fix your jewelry just like new.
Deluxe Travel, locally owned and operating since 1991, is the home for travel to Mexico and Central and South America. The crew at Deluxe Travel is bilingual, trustworthy, thorough, and caring. They will do everything possible to make your dream vacation the best it can be. Now is the time to book for winter travel, so stop by the office at 100 California Avenue or call 686-7000. You can also check us out on our website at deluxetravelLTD.com.
At Deluxe Travel, we sell dreams. Come in and plan yours.
Boutique Elegante's Winter Super Sale is on now. Get 30 to 50% off all winter fashions, sizes up to 4X. Shop while the selection is great. That and so much more at Boutique Elegante, Lakeside Court in Reno.
Welcome back to our last segment here of Old Tales in Nevada, our 300th show. So we're kind of celebrating that achievement. That's I think that's a pretty good run, isn't it, Uri? And we've had some great guests. But these two guys, I really enjoy interviewing because I have such a camaraderie with you about marketing and about TV news and TV sales. Being 12 years at KOLO myself and managing a couple of radio stations and being involved with special events. I imagine for you, going back to you for a minute, Bob, the opportunity to cover big news stories here in Reno must have been quite exciting because you were on the cutting edge. You're right there when it's all going on.
We were the only game in town. Remember that?
You were dominant, yeah.
Until Channel 4 signed on the air. If you wanted to watch television, you watched Channel 8. Or you didn't watch television.
Exactly. So you've had opportunity to reminisce about your career there. And what was the biggest and best or worst news story that you had to cover?
It's probably the burning down of the old Golden Hotel.
Where was that?
Which is now where Harris stands on 2nd Street there.
Oh, okay.
And Don Darrow actually had a little piece of that action too, I think. But yeah, I was having coffee with my cameraman, I don't know how, across the street at some coffee shop. And somebody came in and said, "Hey, do you know the Golden Hotel's on fire?" And I said, "No." Ran across the street, started filming the thing, and I guess 6 people died in that.
Yeah. Really?
But it was such a big story that I can remember guys were flying up from Los Angeles in private airplanes to get film from us.
It was that
for their show that night in LA, and I can remember specifically one guy coming up and he said, "Hey, I'm a producer at Channel 2 in LA, I need film." And I said, I haven't developed, it doesn't matter, just give me the raw stuff. He gave me $200, 2 $100 bills. I mean, really, yeah.
Made your day, huh?
Made my day, it really did.
So was the California Hotel a major Golden Hotel?
Oh, yeah.
Golden.
It was a big hotel. They had a lot of entertainers there.
They did?
A lot of great old
So they were were they in competition with the Mapes, or?
They were all in competition.
But there was camaraderie there as well.
Not very little.
Yeah. So how big a structure was that? How many stories?
I'd say about
6 or
4 or 5.
Yeah,
6.
something like that. Yeah.
How did it start? Was it in the kitchen or something?
It started in the basement. Something happened in the basement, and it started. And I don't know how, but it did burn up 6 people.
Wow.
Yeah,
and
they were asleep.
Who was the guy, Harry, that owned the hotel? Bill somebody?
Tomlin.
Bill Tomberlin, owned the hotel.
And so it was in the middle of the night, huh? So it was hard to get out.
Went all night long, actually.
Yeah. Didn't have fire extinguishers in those days.
No, but they actually tried. I think they finally flew some transport planes over and they were dropping retardant on it.
Really?
They got it.
They were afraid it was going to spread.
It didn't take out any other structures, but it was a major fire, huh?
Not really, but that was probably the big story.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah, it's funny you would remember that. I would think your interviews with Truman or Nixon or some of those would stand out.
I can expand on those, but truthfully, they were all about 2-3 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. To get the president.
But you probably had to do remote broadcasts there, which took some technical ingenuity.
Well, the very first, that was all filmed. The very first remote broadcast that we did was from the 1960 legislature in Carson City.
Oh, okay.
Had to get our own one camera down there, only one camera that Colo owned. We had to do a deal with a phone company to go up to that peak, to come over to this peak, to go to Slide Mountain, to come down.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? And those cameras weren't little back in those days; they were major.
But that was the very first remote telecast that was done.
Isn't that something? Now they do it like it's a piece of cake.
Well, you can do it on a cell phone.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. So now you're both retired, right?
Yeah,
you're both
tired
and retired. Now, I don't think you ever get tired of doing marketing.
No, it's very stimulating.
It's a stimulating, your special events. In fact, you are known for the first camel race.
Yeah. It occurred when John Huston, who was the director of the Misfits, was at a dead spot in filming because Marilyn had her usual breakdown and was in a hospital in L.A. A shooting stop.
Yeah.
So Billy Pearson, a professional horse jockey, was a great friend of Houston and a great friend of Herb Cain. So one night, Houston and Pearson were in the coach room in their cups, and they had heard about a fake camel race in Virginia City that appeared in the paper up there, and they said, why don't we have a real camel race? So one thing led to another, and Mapes put up the money, trophy. He was the second for Houston, and trying to think, Lucius Beebe was the second for Pearson. It was a great time.
Great time. How many people attended that first one?
35,000.
35,000 people in Virginia City.
It was really a Reno event. Staged in Virginia
City. So everybody went up Geiger Grade, huh?
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. We publicized.
Yeah, you must have done a heck of a job publicizing it to get 35,000 people up there.
Yeah, it was a pretty easy job in the old days because you just had to hit the 2 newspapers.
Yeah.
One TV.
One TV station, a couple of radio.
Were you news director at that time? No, that was 1960, wasn't it?
I was news director.
You were news director.
Yeah, because
you were
I remember
I
was in the very first. I remember you couldn't control them and they'd spit at you. I remember the camels. They were so I was just hanging on. I wasn't
so here's a question for you, being in the media and you being marketing and touched with the media and all that kind of thing. You've seen a lot of changes in news and the way it's delivered and so on and so forth. What you're thinking about all of what you see today, the way the news people are handling the news.
Well, let me just say this, and this is a personal gripe of mine, and I watch a lot of news because I have nothing else going on in my life. I do a little radio show once a week, but I sit around. The weather is too long in this town. The weather is too long. I mean, I know they're all nice weather people, but they devote 6 or 7 minutes to the weather and 2.5 to sports on Channel 8. Sorry. But I want to call that news director and say, hey.
Yeah, well, I'd write the news director sometimes because I just get so frustrated with the weather.
But it's all technical now. It's so great. They can do anything that the networks can do.
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing before we finish this thing? Harry Spencer is a guy who is I don't want to say the end of an era, but he was the guy, along with people like Judd Allen, Don Dondero, Raleigh Melton, Thomas Wilson, that kept this town going in the 1950s and the 1960s. And I remember they tell the stories that if they wanted a story in Herb Cain's column in San Francisco, you know, there was no faxing or any of that. They took it down to Herb, got to see Herb, and got the thing planted.
That's amazing.
And
yeah.
that's really kind of the end of an era here. I
Yeah,
mean, it really is.
He was an icon in Reno as in the marketing and it
was the same thing in broadcast.
Yeah, and that's why we wanted you guys on the show, because you're so historical.
And remember, John, I would have been an excellent public servant for public. I am a guy who ran for office 3 times, never lost a primary.
Wow.
Never won a general.
Why was that?
Should have hired Harry. He did the news thing for the district attorney. I'd have gotten in there.
Yeah. The other gripe I have about local news is there isn't enough local.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
there isn't enough local.
Yeah.
If you start watching some of these channels, the problem is they're all trying to fill too much time.
Yes.
They're trying to be the big guys. Like they start at 4 o'clock and they go until 7:30. There's not that much news in Reno.
No.
So now you're getting the cooking review from Akron, Ohio. Some guys,
Yeah.
you know,
Canned stuff.
Yeah, there's just not enough news.
Well, and the other side of the coin is everybody's profit oriented. Whereas in the old days,
look at the commercials, man, just one car commercial after another.
Well, that's what they are. They're commercial carriers.
Absolutely.
They're just out there for profit.
Absolutely.
And it's because we don't have local ownership anymore. They're all owned by these big corporations that have 150 stations.
Yep.
And if you don't make a profit, you're not going to be there very long.
Right.
You're going to be gone. So yes,
Happy anniversary!
Oh, thank you so much.
Give us a kiss there.
Wow.
Cupcakes
too. All right. Now, who are these little young ones here? This is Jim Webster, our coordinator of the show and everything, and what's the kids' names again?
Catron.
Jacob and Catron. Did you bake those, Catron?
No, we got it at Save.
Oh, we got it at Save Mart. Okay. Did you have one yet? No. No? Do you want one? Yeah. We're going to make sure you get it. Do you want to put them down? Oh, why don't you put them right down there? And of course, the reason for the whole cake and everything is because of our 300th anniversary, our show. And these are going to be our new host and hostess.
Just like the show. Nightmare, Bob. Being in show business with kids and a dog.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Everybody knows Larry Elliott. He's a good friend of the show. Now, talk about an entertainer. This guy was in a lot of the lounge acts in the local hotels.
Yeah, Bob, you and I were on Channel 21 together. You did the news, and I did the kids.
You're right. You're right.
And the grandpa tells us that you two kids are some of the smartest kids in your school. Is that right? Are you pretty smart? Do you get A's? Did they still do A's, or they give numbers? Your mom's a teacher, huh? Yeah. Does she give you an A? Yeah. When you go to school? No.
Are you smiling? I've been coaching her to smile.
Well, listen, we got to close up the show. We want to thank you, Bob, and thank you, Harry. Thank you, Roy, and the kids, Larry, and everybody.
Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary, dear. Happy anniversary to you.
And many more.
So thank you, audience. We'll see you next week on Old Tales in Nevada, past and present.